Hey guys, what's going on? Neurotic Ohio here with another Battlefield 6 video. Today I want to take a look at something I've noticed while playing Breakthrough on the game, the intuitive team tactics that players use without even needing to communicate. The first map I want to dissect is New Sobek City. It's not a fan favorite, I know, I see complaints all the time on Reddit, but as a Breakthrough map, I find it to be one of the best. This video is going to be using doctrinal symbology in order to show why the layout rewards teams that apply basic military doctrine. Without further ado, let's walk through the tactics I keep seeing succeed match after match. Before we begin, I'm using NATO symbology here, so a quick rundown. The blue squares will be NATO, the red diamonds are Pax Armada, X represents infantry, ovals represent vehicles. You'll also see avenues of approach as arrows, support by fire positions, assault by fire positions, battle positions. Now let's get right into Sector 1. Sector 1 gives the attacking force 3 starting advantages. 1. Vehicle overmatch. The Bradley IFV provides mobile firepower and protection. 2. Proximity to A site. Short time to contact lets you mass combat power quickly. 3. Interior lines. Once A is captured, you establish a forward respawn/rally that shortens rotations to B. The operation almost every time is to seize A fast, then reduce Pax Armada on B, then capture B rapidly without too much ticket loss. Let's take a look at the offense A site tactics. From spawn, North Infantry will occupy assault by fire positions along the dirt mounds to suppress visible Pax positions. Assault elements maneuver north of the construction to cut Pax Armada HQ and B2A lines of sight. And this also will block defenders rotating from spawn. Light armor pushes along the primary avenue of approach to attrit exposed defenders and fix them in place. Once resistance at A breaks, armor holds the linear danger area to deny counter pushes rather than overextend. South Infantry establishes support by fire positions on the southern mounts to interrupt fires from B and to screen the Bradley's position. Once A is captured, offense will rearm and reconsolidate for B site. When rotating to B site, use the A site buildings as covered firing positions for light infantry. Shift the south element to assault through the objective while the north element maintains a support by fire on Pax Armada B site approach lanes. The IFV will anchor in a support by fire position to strip exterior cover and deny reinforcement routes. Southern infantry will then clear interior rooms at B site and capture the point. If we flipped over and look at the defense, let's take a look at their tactics. Pax Armada starts without armor support but holds 2 key advantages: key terrain and elevation from the high-rise vantage that oversees the approach lanes, and 2. A viable southern avenue of approach that lets defenders contest B even if A fails. The defensive concept is to delay and bleed the offense, trade space for tickets. Force attackers to spend time resetting and protect the middle battle position that controls the sector. Taking a closer look at their disposition, the defense usually forms 3 battle positions. Battle position 1 in the north is along the dirt mounds just west of A site. Light infantry will disrupt the initial assault and spot the IFV for battle position 2. The middle battle position will be at the construction/road complex. This is the anti-tank belt. We want mines, rocket launcher, anything that can destroy that IFV. And we will deny that IFV approach to the A and B sites. The last battle position is just to the south outside of B site. Entrench defenders with overlapping fields of fire into the primary avenue of approach. This element will also support and backfill the middle battle position when needed. If battle position middle falls, the sector will collapse. Key notes: tickets are the center of gravity for Sector 1. Offense wins by speed plus isolation of objectives. Defense wins by time and attrition of the offense. Common errors: offense overextends their light armor and it gets destroyed. Defense fails to resupply that middle battle position effectively, leading to the offensive IFV gaining control of A site. Now let's roll in Sector 2. Sector 2 rewards the attack with heavy armor, but the terrain neutralizes most of that advantage. A single central objective embedded in tight urban blocks. Your 2 true edges are mass on one side and 2. Rapid establishment of a forward line of troops inside the western buildings once the first defender line breaks. The decisive operation is to seize a western foothold, then expand the lodgement to isolate the flag. Shaping operations will be smoke and obscuration on long angles and support by fire from armor, and counter armor to deny the packed heavy tank freedom of action. Taking a closer look at offensive A-site tactics, light infantry needs to breach the westernmost buildings ASAP using the support by fire from the Bradley. Heavy armor will hold the primary avenue approach to counter the enemy main battle tank and to strip exterior cover. Do not nose into alleys with vehicles as they will have limited freedom of maneuver. Assault elements need to push room to room, clearing the enemies and capturing the site. This is a very difficult attack for the offense. A lot of times we will see the game end at this sector, but if you guys keep the audacity, keep pushing forward, it is possible to win. Let's rotate and flip it around again to the defense. The defense enjoys this sector a lot. They have urban density and elevation with a lot of 2 to 3 story buildings producing a meat grinder for the offense. They also are rewarded with heavy armor with 2 viable avenues of approach. And they are able to see more directly into the objective than the attacker vehicles are. 3. They only have to defend one site, so they can concentrate and mass their fires to keep the defense out. Let's take a closer look at the Sector 2 defense tactics. Fighting will begin west of the high-rise buildings behind hard cover. We will then see a deployment of mines and launchers to the north of the buildings to destroy the IFV and main battle tank on the offense and deny that support by fire positions. We are also able to rotate our main battle tank around the high-rise buildings but never overextend. Lastly, the biggest advantage is that the defense can build layered lines. Each fallback creates a new kill box for the defense. If Sector 2 fails, expect a more balanced fight in Sector 3. Common errors we see here: offense feeds too much lane without audacity of the offense. And in defense, we see overcommits main battle tanks into CQB and allows offensive tanks to break up defense. Let's move into Sector 3. After the urban grind of Sector 2, Sector 3 opens into the most balanced portion of the map. The attack now holds key terrain: the high-rise complex, the southern high ground spur overlooking B-site, and interior lines that let you mass west of the spur to launch on A-site. Concept of the operation: seize A fast to create a lodgement, fix defenders at B from the spur, then shift combat power to compress B from 2 directions. Now let's take a look at their more specific tactics for A-site. A-site is an opening ground with an incomplete structure at the center with hard cover around its perimeter. Heavy armor controls the central avenue of approach to cut rotations from B and deny vehicle access. Hold armor at the intersection rather than pushing into crossfires. South infantry occupies the southern spur as a support by fire position, applying continuous pressure and fires on targeted defenders on B to distract and pin them down. Light armor and north infantry will advance onto B site and capture the site. After A site is captured, we then will move on to B site. B site is a more denser infantry objective, so heavy and light armor will need to push the Pax Armada headquarters to form a blocking line that spawn traps the enemy and reduces rotation times. South infantry will transition to an assault by fire position. This is a decisive action, while north infantry rotates from A, crossing the linear danger area under cover from armor, and pinches the strong point from the north. The sequence for this is to fix using the armor line, then south infantry will put an assault by fire, then north infantry will maneuver, then a capture B. Execute correctly, and the game will be won for the offense. Let's flip it around one last time for the defense. Defenders now match attacker vehicle parity, as both sides have a main battle tank and 1 infantry fighting vehicle. Both sides provide workable prepared positions, tactics that succeed, layered fighting positions west of each site, and aggressive use of high-rise cover to break lines of sight and destroy offensive armor before it can get onto the sites or cut off rotation lanes. The decisive task here: heavy armor must hold the main avenue of approach. If attackers seize that avenue, both sides degrade as rotation is slow and resupply routes get interdicted. Disposition of our forces here: the battle positions on A are the hard cover near A's outer street with anti-tanks weapons to stall IFB and A main battle tank advances, and the battle position on B site stop the rotation to B. Rotate light armor between A site and B site as needed. Contest the support by fire position on the spur, and do not overextend. This is the last site. Let's win it here. Key notes for both offense and defense. Offense need to use the spur as a constant support by fire on B while you take A quickly. Armor will control the lanes for you. Defense must protect the center avenue approach at all costs. New Sobek City delivers incredible fights across all 3 sectors. Each side gets a sector where it dictates the tempo, and a culminating fight in Sector 3 decides the match when both teams execute. If your team applies the basics: establish the support by fire, isolate, breach battle positions, clear sight, capture and reconsolidate, This map will reward the team play. Sound off below. Are you seeing the same breakthrough tactics in your matches? Like if you enjoyed the video, and comment which breakthrough map you want analyzed next. I'll prioritize the ones with the most requests. See you guys in the next one. Neurotic Ohio, out.